what else is interesting too is with the UFC deal with ESPN now, and they have the guaranteed money. And Luke Thomas told me this is in our conversation I had with him on Saturday in DC is the UFC now that all pay-per-views on ESPN. ESPN's paying them like every pay-per-view does 500,000 buys, which is huge. It's hard for them to hit 500,000 buys. It's huge. So now that they have this guaranteed money, they extend their contract by 2 years. We don't know the figures of any of that, but now, and you can see this when Conor announced retirement and people went to Dana and went, dude, what are you guys going to do? Before, Dana was like, no, I'm not worried about that. We'll get him back. And then they kind of spin it, and then there's rumors, and they make sure he's still involved. Dana went, cool, man. Yeah, sells a lot of whiskey. We're good.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, fuck. The power has left the fighters, all the fighters. Because now that they have this guaranteed nut, they're covered, they're balling. There's no more pay-per-view stars. The pay-per-view star model's over. So now they don't it was a business model that was predicated on huge pay-per-view stars. Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, obviously Conor McGregor, Anderson Silva, these guys, these bigger than life names, and they put all the resources into them, and they had the marketing machine behind them. You're never going to see that anymore. That's over with. So if you didn't think your fighter got huge kind of push before, it's going to get way worse. They don't have to. They're set. They're in cruise control. In America, they just went cruise control. Cool. We don't have to bank on stars. We don't have to push anyone. Now, if I'm a fighter, if I'm Style Bender, if I'm, let's say, Kelvin Gastelum to win, if I'm John Jones, if I'm Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm when they fight, if I'm freaking, any of these champions, Max Holloway, any of these guys, and I'm a big name in the sport, I'm hiring my own publicist now. You got to tell your own story, because now that the UFC's in cruise control, so you're crazy if you think they're not building stars anymore. That's not happening. Internationally, they're going to put the resources there. Here, they're set. You will never, ever see someone as famous as Conor McGregor ever in the UFC again.
Damn.
It was the perfect storm in order for that to happen. They sold the company at $4 billion because of him and Ronda and these huge names. And that was the model, and that worked back then. But now that they're sitting pretty, they have this guaranteed money. They don't have to make stars. You're just going to get fights now. Good fights, great fights. That's all you're going to get. So if you're sick of the entertainment era, it's officially over. That's what that ESPN deal to me went, oh, it was fun. And like all that shit talking stuff like that, it was fun. It's over. The entertainment era is officially over. So it's good and bad, right? I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's good and bad. It's good and bad. The bad thing is now that's just on there. Justin Gaethje made, I think, $4,000 from Reebok being the headliner.
Oh, because he just barely joined the UFC not
Yep.
too long ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we don't know the guaranteed money that the UFC gets for those 500,000 pay-per-views. So the fighters have no share in that now. Obviously, there's no share in that. The sponsors, the amount of the eyeballs now to each fighter dwindles down. So, again, it's not a bad thing. If you're sick of all the shit talking and guys doing things to stand out, and it's officially over. It ended with Conor McGregor and the ESPN deal.
We'll see if it's good.
Well, if you're a fan of fighting and not the bullshit and the WWE antics, you should celebrate this. That's over. Now, if you're a fighter and trying to stick out and have a life after fighting and get your name big, that's over.
No, that's not good.
For the fighters, this is a way worse deal. So, and this is always, back in the day, when I say back in the day, last month before the ESPN deal, if you could get so big where you're making great endorsements outside the cage, the UFC was pushing you, you were getting pay-per-view points, you could make life-changing money. That old model is gone now. So the day and age of the huge superstar in the UFC is completely gone. They will never, ever break. I will say this too, Conor McGregor's record, that the biggest pay-per-view of all time, they won't ever come close to that. Those days are gone. Those huge pay-per-views, them breaking 1 million, it's never happening again. Unless we get some big international superstar, you know. Again, not saying this is a bad thing either. It's great for the UFC, bad for the fighters. That's always been the case, hasn't it? Except for a few mega stars like Conor, Brock, and Ronda, or DC coming up, being the champ. When you get a share of those pay-per-view points, you made life-changing money. But that only helped a few of them. It's always been what's best for the UFC, never the fighters. And it's never been more true now. What else you got, Chin?
There you go.
Where does this investigation go from here, though?
The Connor one? I don't know.
Like, why is it taking so long? That happened in, they're saying December.
December, yeah.
How long does that? So, was accused of sexual harassment in Dublin, was arrested and released after questioning the next month. Keep scrolling down. The story has been circulating some time. It's unclear why it's being reported now. Correct. The assumption that Connor's retirement announcement today is related to the rumor is absolutely false. Bullshit. Does anyone buy that? There's no way. What else is interesting is, before announcing his retirement on Monday, McGregor told The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, he was in the process of negotiating a potential return to the octagon in July.
Yeah.
Here's what's so if you're Conor McGregor, if you're Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz, if you're those guys on the outside who the UFC would be like, dude, come, like, or Brock Lesnar, if you're those guys on the outside who the UFC was like, dude, please come fight for us, please. They don't give a fuck anymore. They have these guarantees. They do. So those guys who were like, oh, I'm just gonna wait and get this big payday, that's gone. The UFC doesn't give a fuck about Conor Nate Diaz 3. They don't care if Brock Lesnar DC. They don't care about any of that. They have these guarantees now. Cool, man. Don't fight. Think about that. They did that to Conor McGregor. Dana went, yeah, cool, man. Make a ton of money, whiskey. Yeah, don't care. Yeah, we have all these guarantees. We covered our nut and then some. Where's that? Don't fight. We don't give a fuck. And then he goes, I need this. I need, if I'm going to fight, don't give a fuck. It's like complaining to the airlines. Go complain to them. They go, excuse me? There's 70 other people waiting for your fucking flight. We don't give a fuck. I know, but you owe me this. We're not on time. I don't give a fuck. Cool. Go complain. Let me know how it goes for you. We're set here.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that? Is ever since that deal happened, now there's all these fights being announced just randomly. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom,
which
boom.
we'll talk about too.
Because so as a sport, it's good. As a sport, they can get back to business A's, B's, and C's. As a sport, it's great. For the fighters, it's awful. You have absolutely zero power now. The age of being a star is gone. Absolutely gone. They don't have to put resources into anything. They don't give a fuck about your signature shoe, your shirt, the marketing. They do not care. They're going to put on, you're going to get the best fighting the best now, which as a fan, I love it. Cool. They don't care if you talk shit. They don't care about your story. They don't care about what makes you different, the dynamics. They do not care. It is a product now. They just went from a mom and pop shop to fucking fast food. Well, you like cheeseburgers. It's not going to blow you away, but you're going to take it. It's cheap. You can get it anywhere now. It's not great for the cows. You know what I'm saying? Sucks for the cows.
UFC didn't even put out like a long like Connor tweet or Dana hadn't put anything out. Like, you know, they did the whole GSP thing.
There's nothing. Even with GSP. I think, and they knew this. Like, remember when GSP was like, man, I'll fight at 55. Let me cut. I'll fight Khabib. The UFC knew this deal was going through. They went, we're good. Even GSP, his big announcement, his retirement, he's like, I was down to fight Khabib at 55. The UFC they weren't playing ball. Why do you think they weren't playing ball? Like, we don't give a fuck, bro. We're set. We're not giving you $30 million. This 18 to 36 demo now on the fucking platform doesn't care about GSP. We're out. The old model, yeah, you would have got that, bro. this new deal, we don't care. They don't care about shit. Again, not bad for if you want to see pure fighting, though. But if you care about fighters, it's not good, man. So if I have a name, I have the means where I can afford a publicist. I'm calling my manager right after I stop listening to this podcast going, I need a publicist because no one's going to get your name out there anymore. They do not care. Every UFC fighter just became fast food. Who's the McRib? Who's the Shamrock Shake? Let's figure it out. Who's the McRib? Who's going to be that one that comes along and people fucking line up to buy? You're still fast food. Everyone else is cheeseburgers. Who's the McRib? Who's the Shamrock Shake? Call your publicist so you're the McRib or Shamrock Shake. Otherwise, you're just a 20-piece McNugget. What else you got, Jen?
So those fights we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is
how funny is this? This deal happens. They fucking do the Rolodex and we get all the fights you want to see.
A bunch out of nowhere.
Hey, here's the thing. Great fights. Again, if you're a fan of the sport, this is fantastic. If you care about human beings, it's a terrible deal. John Jones, Thiago Santos, fuck yeah, sign me up. Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm, fuck yeah, sign me up. Here's what pisses me off about Santos and John Jones. How are you going to leak Stipe versus Jones? And they both agreed to it in July. The UFC goes, cool story. Did you say super fight? That's so 2018. Not happening. You're fighting Santos because we don't give a fuck about the pay-per-view model anymore. Stipe, you know who gets screwed over even more? Stipe, waiting for that big fight. The UFC went, nah, man. You want to fight Curtis Blades, though? Look at that. Been ready. Look, Jones goes, I don't think you guys are ready to witness Stipe and I. Would July give you enough time? Stipe says, been ready. See you there. He's just been waiting. Like the lonely stripper in a club, just waiting for someone to get someone's attention to get money. He thought someone was walking up to him with a fucking full deck of ones. He was like, oh shit. And he just got so blue-balled by John Jones because the UFC went, nah, over here. And then here comes just Thiago Santos with a blowout ass and cash. And then fucking boom. That's who John got the lap dance from. Weird reference. I get it. Weird. Weird reference, bros.